UnTitledChapter.com, and with me today is Dr. Mike Moreno. You might say he's kind of the man of the hour the last couple of weeks. He's the author of the new 17-Day Diet. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. A little bit wet out here in California, which is rare to say, but nonetheless doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I got to thank you before we even get started and just say I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about the book.
For sure. Well, everybody's talking about this since your kind of debut appearance on Dr. Phil and the Doctors a couple weeks ago, and the web is buzzing about 17-Day Diet. You know, at Diets in Review, we obviously see a lot of diets come across our plate, and we haven't seen one kind of take off in popularity like this in a long time. So why don't we just get like real bare bones about it? What is the 17-Day Diet?
So, you know, to me, to keep it short and simple, it's, in my opinion, the way that people need to look at their life and their patterns of their behavior and how they eat. It's not a gimmicky diet, and to answer to a lot of speculation, a lot of sort of people who are out there asking about the diet, well, it's another fad, it's another, you know, short-lived thing. This is not, and I need to make it very clear, it's not. This is really a way that people can live their lives forever. And it's a way to sort of really deal with a lot of the issues that are evident when diets fail, and that's boredom, plateauing, and really the presence of a lot of unhealthy things that people recommend in terms of diet. So I see this as a way to really retrain your body and sort of reintroduce your body to healthy living and healthy eating habits and really live a long, healthy life.
And you do that over the course of 4 17-day cycles, right? Correct.
And technically it's 3, and I'll briefly explain it a little bit. The 4th is actually a maintenance cycle.
And you do that on go. That's where you just kind of like take what you've learned and live your life with that. Exactly
right. With this caveat, there's always the ability to go back to one of the cycle 1, 2, or 3 for whatever you may need. You know, we all encounter, life's crazy. We all encounter different things we're going to do. And, you know, we may need to drop, you know, 5 or 6 pounds for a wedding in 2 weeks, or for, you know, whatever it may be. Guys and girls and everybody, we all have sort of this idea. We want to look good for certain things. We want to get into that clothing that we love, or that dress, or whatever it may be. So there's that caveat that, yes, it's something that you can do forever, and that cycle 4 is really a maintenance cycle. So it's really the first 3 cycles, and we've sort of broken them up into 17 days for a couple of reasons. Primarily one, and I think a very big point here, as we all know, diets are psychologically draining. It's very difficult to stay on a diet because they're boring. You plateau, you mess up, and you give up, and it's just not fun. So the 17 days is really sort of this time frame where people can kind of do this. I mean, 17 days, anybody can do everything for 17 days. So it's kind of a soft number that really supports it. Now, that being said, there's also a lot of scientific evidence behind this, and this is where a lot of the changes that occur in terms of metabolism, this 17-day number really seems to support a lot of the time frame in which metabolism changes, adjusts, cleanses itself, and balances itself. And so there's really 2 components, which again, when you're talking about dieting and weight loss, it's an element of psychology and physiology, and the 2 coupled together is really where your success comes from.
Right. I mean, everybody will tell you that you can diet all day long, but until you get to kind of the root of those problems and really make some changes inside and out, that the changes aren't going to stick the way it's going to come back.
That's 100% right on the money.
So you say in the book you could potentially lose about 5 pounds per week. You say up to 12 pounds in 17 days. That obviously exceeds the generally recommended 2 to 3 pounds per week. Is that a healthy and safe rate of weight loss for people to be taking on their own?
You know, it is, and there's 2 points here. One is what you just mentioned, which is how much weight loss should occur in a certain amount of time. And the second one, which seems to be a big discussion out there in the internet, which is how fast is, well, I should say, is quick weight loss healthier than gradual weight loss? And, you know, when you look at this, and I think a lot of people are making comments because they really don't know. They haven't seen the book. They haven't read through it. But when you look from day one, you're going to say to yourself, wow, this doesn't seem unhealthy. I don't seem like I'm starving myself. I'm getting 3 or 4 meals and snacks every day from day one, including carbs. Mm-hmm. It is still considered healthy. I think there's a healthy way to do anything in life. This is very unique in that it is a healthy way to lose weight. We just happen to sort of stumble on a way that you're going to lose a fair amount of weight and keep it off, but you're going to do it in a healthy way. And it all sets up for cycles 2 and 3, which are sort of continued weight loss and then the reintroduction of foods that you want to enjoy every day, really, if that's possible. So to answer your question, it is a healthy way to do it. And a lot of people will look at this number and say, this amount of weight in this amount of time, it can't be healthy. Well, when you get the book and you look at it and you see the diet plans and they're very well and easily laid out, you're going to say, wow, this is a healthy way to lose it.
The other thing you talk about in 17-Day Diet is the 17-minute per day exercise. And again, a lot of research and experts have said over the years that a minimum of 30 minutes a day is what people should shoot for. So shaving off 13 minutes and just doing 17 minutes a day of exercise, are you still getting all the benefit of that, and why?
Okay, so this is the point. You know, anytime you embark upon a sort of re-exploration of your health and getting back on track, whether that's diet and exercise. And I do this with my patients all the time. We all want to be healthy, but we're not quite sure how to do it. And we're not quite sure how fast we should go or how much we should do or what we should do. 17 minutes is a really safe way to get started. And I think that's an important part here. I agree with you, and you're 100% right. You're dead on accurate. So you obviously know very much what you're talking about, because 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that 150-minute per week of exercise is what we need as a maintenance. But we have to realize that a lot of people can't walk down a street for 2 minutes, let alone more. So again, when you set these bars at, okay, 30 minutes a day, people immediately become turned off. And that's a really good point. This is a gradual place to start. And oftentimes I tell a lot of my patients that are really out of shape, give me 10 minutes after each meal. And that's a great way to start, because it's always good to get a little walk in after eating. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the 17 minutes to answer your question it's a starting point. It's a building block. And when people cut their calories in that first that first cycle a little bit, excessive exercise can kind of drop your sugar levels too much and may be a little bit counterproductive. So it's sort of a safety valve in there. People will find their place in terms of their intake of food and balance that with the amount that they exercise. So you're absolutely right. You know, the more you do, the better. It's pretty hard to over-exercise. I can't think of very many people to do that. So, but 17 minutes, again, it's that sort of reachable value, that reachable thing, and anybody will say, hey, I can do 17 minutes. The idea is, as you go through this diet, and I mean on a daily basis, you are going to feel so much better that 17 minutes, you know, 2 weeks from now is going to be nothing. And you're going to want to do more. You're going to feel more. You're going to have more energy. It's just going to gradually, naturally, you know, progress.
Right. One of the things I really like about the diet plan itself is that it's a clean eating plan. So you've removed the sugar, the processed, starchy junk. Right. Tell everybody, I guess even kind of remind everybody, why getting rid of those things in your diet is so beneficial.
You know, I always think back at, I grew up in a big family, 7 kids, and I was the youngest of 7. So, you know, we grew up eating certain things. And, God, when you look back, I'm only 42, so when I look back and I think, God, look at what we're surrounded by and what we eat now. It's not healthy. Mm-mm. And I think there's a reason, it's certainly a direct and absolutely accurate correlation to what we're doing to ourselves and what we're seeing as a result of that. So, you know, getting back to natural foods is that, you know, one of the things I see is a lot of people say, well, I have people come in with literally bags of minerals and vitamins, and these people are spending $300, $400, $500 a month on stuff that you can get just eating right. You don't need to spend $25 on a bottle of a certain vitamin or an element or a mineral when you can just eat a food of which there are many options that'll give you that same nutrition. So it's alleviation of all that sodium and then all of these bad carbs and starches and preservatives, getting back to really how we used to eat and being healthy. And I'll tell you, it's amazing how much better people feel when you feed yourself right.
You will, with even just a couple of days. If you introduce
2 days.
Yeah. Within a couple of days, you'll feel better.
Yeah, there's a reason why you can't put regular gasoline in an unleaded tank, and there's a reason why it doesn't fit in the nozzle, because when you do that, you're gonna have problems. And it's really about what you put in your body and what you're going to get out of it. And that is just such a basic thing. And so many people, another thing I keep seeing a lot on the internet is, well, this is nothing new. And my answer to that is, yeah, you're right. But clearly, what's been presented thus far has not been presented in a way to make people understand that we need to make a change. Because if it's nothing new, then what's been presented is nothing new. Why do we have this problem in our country? And we can fix it. I mean, God, a year from now, this country could be, I'd love every other country to be looking at the United States and go, wow, what did they do? And in 1 year, you know, everybody's kind of looking at us now going, God, what did they do to themselves?
Right.
You know, let's just get a hold of the one thing we have control over now, which is our health.
Right. I absolutely agree. Well, the book is The 17-Day Diet. It's by Dr. Mike Moreno. We really appreciate you taking the time to introduce us to a little bit more about the diet and explain what it is. And hopefully, you know, when people start examining their health for the new year, maybe they'll find something in here that matches with their goals.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity, and happy holidays, everybody, and here's to your health.
Absolutely. For dietsinreview.com, I'm Brandy Coffey.